Hey guys, Fred and Sheila McCoy, Hatfield McCoy Museum, fredmccoy.com. Sheila's behind the camera.
Hi guys, hope you're having a great morning.
We're gonna make this video fast. We've got videos from 2 or 3 months back. She's still trying to get edited and put out, so we're behind on videos. We
just a smidge.
Put one a day, but still there's several of them.
Yeah.
And reading Facebook page this morning, and was talking about February the 18th. Today, of course, is February the 18th of 1890 is when they hung Ellis and Hatfield, Cottontop.
Yeah.
And I was reading an article on one of the Facebook pages, and was talking about it, and all through here they was talking about Cottontop mounts, Ellison mounts, Cottontop mounts, and that's what I was wanting to talk about, because again, it's Ellison Hatfield. Ellison was a Hatfield. He was never legally adopted, or that Sheila and I have ever found anything that says he was ever legally adopted, or that his name was even Mounts. You know, you'll see on his wedding document there where he puts it as Mounts, or somebody ever who done the inscription there did. But his mother married a Mounts, I think 3 years after he was born.
Yeah,
and they very well may have given him the name Mounts because of his father, or his stepfather, his mother's new husband. But Cottontop was a Hatfield. He was the son of Ellis and Hatfield. Going on from that, I wanted to, there was a couple of other, and I just took a face shot of them just to give me an idea of First, let me talk about this. Let's talk about these Facebook pages. Guys, listen. I know sometimes I get on some of these Facebook pages. This one here, I can actually get on now. There was a time I couldn't get on hardly none of them. Been kicked off several. Because sometimes people don't want to hear what you've got to say. Sometimes, like that movie with Jack Nicholson in it, the Marine Corps movie, where he says, you can't handle the truth. A few good men. You can't handle the truth. Well, it seems like a lot of Facebook pages are like that. If they can't handle it, they kick you off. And I know sometimes I may sound mad over that or upset, but see, I can't do that and do like we do. We also have 2 Facebook pages. We don't use them for anything. They're just there that when the museum, if it ever opened back up or something, you've got to. In fact, on one of them, I've got one of our viewers sent me a cartoon of Devil Anse Hatfield.
Yeah. Robert
E. Lee hollering at him, get back here, Ance. He said, I'm going home. And he's deserting. It's a joke. It's funny. Also the truth. Maybe not with the part of Robert E. Lee telling him to come back, but he left. But that's on our Facebook page, and it's ours. It's our page, so we can put whatever we want to on it. And so can these people here. I see her shaking her head.
I agree.
And we know this, but sometimes Sheila, somebody had called us last night, was asking about the story that we covered a while back, and it's where a person had written an article, and the person had gone, says they was a historian, and they were this and that, but all they'd done is copied a couple of stories from books. They hadn't really done no research. And when the person was asking, said, where was this at? What Facebook page? I was kicked off of, and she named whatever page it was that she was kicked off of, a Facebook page. Listen, these are these people's Facebook pages. They set them up.
They can do what they want, yeah.
Huh?
They can do what they want.
They can do what they want to with them.
That's theirs.
I don't want to sound negative, because some of these Facebook pages, there's a couple that I can't even view, I can't even see. And a lot of times that's the ones people sends us pictures of or whatever it is. Several of them I go to, or I can go to on Sheila's page, Even if I'm blocked, I can go to from Sheila's Facebook page and read stuff. Some of them I can't. Some of them, they're completely out of whack. But that's okay too, because this is America. There's nobody more on freedom and rights than Fred and Sheila McCoy.
There you go.
So while it may sound like sometimes I'm critical of some of these Facebook pages, of course I may not like being able to see something. Of course I may not like other people having to text it to us or email it to us. Doesn't make it not legal or not their right. They have a right to do that. Just like we have a right on these videos to turn off the comments.
That's right.
We don't want to argue with somebody on here. A lot of these Facebook pages, they do argue. They'll put comments on there. We don't want any arguing, and we don't want this or that. And a lot of the topics, again, that's why we never got involved with any tourism or anything when we were back home. A Hatfield buddy of mine, none of us, nobody wanted nothing to do with this Hatfield McCoy thing when it first started coming up for tourism, because there's hard feelings. I don't care if you're best friends, nobody's ever going to agree on everything about this feud. And the thing that benefits me is I'm both. I'm Hatfield and McCoy. One great-great-grandfather fought for the Confederacy. The McCoy great-great-grandfather fought for the Confederacy. The Hatfield great-great-grandfather fought for the Union in Kentucky, contrary to what one author says, that Kentucky was Confederate. She was wrong. But on our page, we've got our comments cut off. We don't want to argue about it.
No.
We want to put the facts out. We want to show what we're talking about it and prove that we're correct in what we say. And we say if we're not right, please contact us. Our phone number, it's what we always give our website, fredmccoy.com. Phone number, address, email, messenger, Facebook, YouTube page, it's all there. Contact us. Again, I don't answer the phone every time it rings. It says on my phone, leave a message. If you don't leave a message, I'm going to assume you're a telemarketer and delete the call. And I do that several times a day. I don't want to argue with people. I'm older. No need in arguing about it. I've seen over the years that some people's never going to agree. What we like to use is evidence. So going back to the Facebook page, and then I'll shut up about this. These Facebook pages, some of these people I know, some of these people have written books, they're authors. Some people I've talked to on the phone, I've got messages from a messenger. It's not that I dislike that person. I dislike some of the things that they have said on their page or some of the things that they allow others to say. That doesn't make it illegal, doesn't make it wrong. It just means I don't like it. I don't like when people censors. I don't like censorship. I don't like when you let somebody make comments. I'm going to show you some here in a minute. And then somebody else makes a comment, but you delete that post. And that's one-sided. But on saying that, our Facebook pages, we monitor what people can post, because we don't want people posting from some of these other Facebook pages onto our page and spreading what we consider, in my opinion, is propaganda. Something that's not true. That's been proved otherwise. Now, my back's doing good, doing a lot better. We're probably not going to be visiting a lot of cemeteries anymore.
Yeah.
We found out that climbing is just not good for my back.
Exactly.
My surgery, it's not good. No matter how I feel, thinking when I get there and I'm going to go up, and then the adrenaline starts pumping, you can't wait to get there. You start seeing tombstones, you move faster and faster, and all of a sudden you're in a world of havoc.
And then you pay for it the next couple of days.
So our graveyard details, we never did find Nancy Hatfield Steele, and we've got Nancy Hatfield Steele's shoes and purse and everything. We got a lot of stuff from Nancy Hatfield, Wall Hatfield's daughter, that she left in that store when she gave it to her daughter, Sissy Browning. Thank you, babe. Sissy Browning, Sissy Steele Browning.
Right.
And then Sissy sold it to Mike and Goldie Ray, and that's where we got a lot of the stuff over there from, and downstairs the devil ant's bed. And but we're not concerned about finding. We never did find it. We talked to a couple of family members, and one of them tells us that it's on private property and they don't want nobody there videoing or anything like that. We can respect that.
Sure.
We think we know where it's at, but it is on private property, and we're not going to make people mad. If it was on my property and I don't want you on my property, I don't want you there.
Yeah,
so why would I get...
right.
Randall McCoy didn't want people on his property when all this was going on. He didn't talk to the media. It came out in the long run to... Somebody asked yesterday, said, how did Devil Ants get so much publicity from all this? Let me ask you one question. It's on my text here. It said, how did he do all this and come out looking so much better than Randall McCoy, and he was a villain? And I told him, Randall McCoy didn't talk to the media. If you come in here from Ohio, from Cincinnati, from Louisville, from New York, and you make that trip all the way in, that editor says, go get me a story on these Hatfields and McCoys, and you go to Randall McCoy's, and he says, get off my property, I don't want to talk about it. You know, some people may not understand that mindset. I'm like that normally, and I ain't lost no kids. Imagine losing 6 kids in your cabin, and imagine everything that happened to him happening to you, and then somebody comes there wanting to do a story on it. Get off my property, I don't want to talk about it. He didn't talk to these people. And then you go to Devil Ants, and Devil Ants says, yeah, come on in, I'll tell you. And he tells them the awfulest bear tale they've ever heard, but it's the only story they got. It's all they've got. Are they going to go back and tell the editor? I didn't get nothing, editor. Randall McCoy, he knows the truth, but he wouldn't talk to me. Devil Ants, he told me a bunch of bullshit, but that's all I got. Write it. Write the bull crap. Go ahead and put that in. We got a story, as long as we got a story. Or these people writing these books back in that day. Randall McCoy wouldn't talk, but hey, let's talk Devil Ants. He don't shut up. And Devil Ants tells them these big bear tales, and they write it down because they need enough pages in that stack of papers to equal out to a book. Some of these Hatfield McCoy books are paper thin. Some of them, look at ours, 900, I think it's about 700 some pages now. We cut out a bunch of stuff that we really didn't need, and put back in important stuff that we've rediscovered or discovered in the last few years.
Well, fiction sometimes sells better than truth. People don't like to hear the truth.
You mean lies. Lies sells better than truth. I'm gonna read you something here, and then we're gonna go downstairs. Right now we're in the Popcorn Sutton part of the section here. And I'm not gonna give you the names. It just says, they were talking about the hog trial, I guess, and he says, there isn't a hog trial court case in Pikeville for the Hatfields and McCoys. This is a Devil Ants Hatfield fan. I see his name many a times on things throughout the years, and he's a Jim Vance fan, and that's his right to say what he wants.
Sure.
You know, I can't really fault the Facebook pages. I can't really fault these people that's pulling people's legs. It's you. It's you that's got to be faulted, because if you want to read this stuff and then you want to believe this stuff, I see you're looking at me. I'm not insulting nobody.
Okay, I was
I'm not insulting, Sheila.
Be careful.
Let me get it right. I don't want to insult the
Right.
viewer. But guys, if you read something, and Sheila and I have shown you different on documents, on
Factual
deeds,
documentation.
on death certificates, on whatever proof we've got, and it's without a doubt the proof, and then you continue to believe what somebody tells you, it's not his fault. You go watch a magician to do magic trick, and he does the tricks. That's what you paid for. You wanted to see. And that's what they're doing here. They're doing magic on you. And evidently most people are okay with that, because they say, good history, thank you. This person says they had been talking about this pig trial, and this person says there isn't a hog trial court case in Pikeville for the Hatfields and McCoys. This other one says, yeah, I have this one here. This guy here was, he's from California, and he's one of the reasons I got kicked off at least one of the sites before, because he knew all about the feud. He was educated in the feud. He knew the feud. I said, where are you from? He said, California. Oh, California. Yeah, but I know all about it. he knows all about it from reading a couple of books. I'm not going to go into the books, but it's not two of my favorite books, and she's giving me the thumbs up, so I'll please my wife today.
Thank you.
But if you've watched some of the other videos, you've seen who I'm talking about. This guy says that he's always giving advice. And I asked him one time, I said, you been to West Virginia? Have you been to Devil Land? Oh, yeah. I said, well, show us a picture. Show us. I used to come there many times growing up. Now, show us one picture. You got pictures of you at Devil Lance's? Oh, yeah. Hundreds of them. Yeah. I said, show us one. Don't need to see hundreds. We just want to see, these people on here listening to us want to see one picture of you at Devil Lance Hatfield's monument, and I'll shut up. He's talking about went there as a kid, went there all through the years. Every time they come in from California, he was there. He couldn't produce, I can't find it. I can't find them right now. Can't find them. And I finally called him a liar. Which, when somebody tells you something that's not the truth, it's a lie. Now, you can be like Sheila and all these other people and be politically correct and say, oh, it's in on truth. Oh, he just made a mistake. Oh, no. When a person tells you something over and over as a fact, and it's proven that it's not a fact, then it's a lie. Let's call it what it is. So, anyway, they kicked me and this gentleman off, and then he sweet-talked or whatever he done. They took him back. From what I was told from other people that was on the site that actually agreed with my argument.
You're talking about what he had said on his remarks.
Well, that person there is from our page, our viewer that we've actually, and the person says there are pig trials, there are records of, this other gentleman from California, he makes a comment that Devil Lance and Randall McCoy never served in the same company. They were both Confederate, but they never served in the same company. And so what we're going to do here, it's going to take me a little bit longer to get downstairs because I'm taking my time on everything I do so I don't mess my back up. No, it's getting better, and I don't want to mess it up again. So we're going to see you downstairs because I forgot, but that's where the evidence is, or we would have started out there. But
it's okay. Catch it if you...
I didn't want to go downstairs to begin with, so we just said, well, let's film it up here. And now that I look at my phone and realize that the stuff's downstairs,
Sucky darn.
We're going to have to go down there anyway.
That's all good. Catch it if you...
We'll cover this one first, and then we'll go in there to the other one. I know. So guys, on this comment here, it says, there isn't a hog trial court case for Pikeville for the Hatfields and McCoys. And then it says, there are records of all the other court cases and nothing on a hog trial. New York newspapers made it all up. Well,
really?
Sheila can show one of our papers that we've shown and shown. That's the regular court document there. Here's the story so you can stop. If you haven't, we have shown this one on several videos.
Yeah.
And this is all dealing with the hog trial. Of course, this is my great-great-grandparents. That's Preacher Anderson Hatfield and Polly Hatfield, his wife.
And there's Asa Peter.
Yeah, Asa Peter McCoy. And Asa Peter, they're saying, now, we're not talking about the 1878 pig case because Sheila and I have never found that one, even though we know a guy that says that he saw it. And I do know that him and his father collected court documents from the Pike County Courthouse, and I do know that the girl at the courthouse would give him copies of all Hatfield McCoy documents that she found as she come across them. And I remember one time that we got back in the car, we were detectives, and as he's looking through these papers, taking them back to his father, he says, Dad's going to love this. She gave me a whole stack today. His dad was elderly. That's what he done for a hobby. And he said, Dad's going to love this. And he looks and he says, oh, Lord, I think she's gave me the original on this pig trial. Now, that's not made up. I have no reason to. No. It wasn't, at that time, we had a whole lot going on in the sheriff's office, and I really wasn't worried about that part of it at that time, but I did remember him saying that, and I do remember, and so maybe someday that may still turn up, who knows?
Yeah.
But we're not talking about that trial.
Okay.
This gentleman here says there isn't a hog trial court case in Pikeville for the Hatfields and McCoys. Well, I beg to differ, guys.
Right
Here
there
it is. There's your court document. Ellison Hatfield and 3 of his friends, and you can read it better here. October the 2nd, 1867. Now remember what this gentleman says. There isn't a pig trial in Pike County, Kentucky concerning the Hatfields and McCoys. Lie. That's a lie. Because there is.
Yeah, there's
May not be the
proof.
1878 with Floyd Hatfield, but there's definitely a pig trial. So that's wrong. But now, we've covered this before.
Right.
They still say the same thing. That doesn't mean they're going to change that.
No, that's okay though.
Records of all the other court cases and nothing on a hog trial. New York newspapers made it up. Well, we're not making it up. We're not making it up. New York newspapers had the same access to the records that we got. We're going to close it here, and I'm going to go on the other side. We're almost done with this video.
Catch you in a few.
And finishing this video up, we came from the other side showing the pig trial, showing that what was printed here was wrong. And then there was the other comments. They were talking about the Civil War, and they said Randall McCoy and Devil Anse both served in the Confederacy, but they was with different companies. This one here says, yeah, I have the regiment they were in someplace. This is the guy from California that also had pictures of him at Devil Anse's monument and stuff. I've got them records someplace, and I've seen this comment on him several times throughout the years. I've got them someplace, but nobody ever says, can you produce them? If you don't care, can you show them here? Let's just stop right here a minute and pick up when you come back. Show us a picture or show us this document. But nobody ever does that. Guys, you've got to be inquisitive. There's nothing wrong with being inquisitive. It's not arguing to be inquisitive. It's not wanting to start to feud over because you're inquisitive and you don't drink the Kool-Aid as easy as some others. Now this guy here says, yeah, I have the regiment they were in someplace. Randall was out of Kentucky and Anderson was out of Virginia. Duh. Is there anybody that doesn't know that? Is there anybody that doesn't know that Randall McCoy was from Kentucky and Private Devil Anse was from Virginia or West Virginia? That's common knowledge. We're talking about these guys serving together in the same Confederate unit in the Civil War. This gentleman here says that he's got the 2 units that they served in. Well, I'm going to show you, and I don't want to mention the names, but sometimes you have to. In this book here that we done, this is the only book that's ever been written. We have no books for sale. Only books that's ever been written by original descendants, Hatfield McCoy together, or the first book. It was the first book, and still to this date, the only book. And there we are. There's the 2 authors. That's me when I was 5 years old, and Paul at 5. Here we are at about 55 or 60, whatever how old we was then. That's when we was at the Ashahara and McCoy Cave. And righting wrongs. And we write in this book that as descendants of the Hatfields and McCoys, where do we come in at? We didn't get involved in the tourism back home. We didn't get involved in the Hatfield-McCoy feud. And since then, there's so many stories out there that it's time that somebody speaks up and takes up for the truth. And Paul and I wrote a book, and we called it Righting Wrongs. And we take just about every book that's over there in those 2 display cases, and we go through them and approve them or disapprove them. And Altina Waller's book, I can't get away without mentioning her name because I have to. In Altina Waller's book, right in the first chapter, she says that there's no proof that Randall McCoy ever served in the Civil War, but if he did, he was in the Union. Totally incorrect. There's Civil War records everywhere for Randall McCoy, but here on this page here is those who served in the Virginia state line and the 45th. Now this is all the McCoys. This is all she had to do was go to the Civil War records. This is all the McCoys. Our Selkirk McCoy. Sheila and I done a story on him a while back at his grave. Here's Uriah McCoy. That's my great-great-grandfather on the McCoy side. On the next page, those guys are in the 45th, but you'll also see down through here, the Virginia state line, but you'll also see the 45th, because the 45th came out of Virginia state line. But right here, Randall McCoy, 45th. And that is the Civil War records, and we stated in there that anybody could have got these records. This statement online should serve as a testament just how well Altina done her research and what she knew about the feud. There's the roster, but yet she says if Randall actually served, he would have been on the, then she would have known if Randall actually served and on either side during the Civil War. However, it was much easier to just write something in the history than to actually go do the research. Now, if you look right here, here's Devil Anse Hatfield, Private Devil Anse Hatfield, 45th Battalion, Infantry. Devil Anse Hatfield, desertion, February 63, 45th, the 45th Battalion, right there again. Here he is, I'm not gonna go, here's his height, 5 foot 6 inches tall, 25 years old. He served in the 45th Battalion before he deserted, of course, and they go all up down through here with desertion papers for Devil Anse. Now, if you look right here, even Ellison Hatfield, here's Ellison Hatfield, the 45th, before he deserted. Now, he deserted in December of 63. Here's Anderson Hatfield, 45th. Here's Uriah McCoy. This is my great-great-grandfather on the McCoy side, the 45th. The 45th. And here's Randall McCoy. This is when he was taken prisoner of war, and up there is his oath of allegiance. Down here is Devil Anse Hatfield, where he was deleted. Guys, all these, there was nothing there on that side during that time except the 45th. And you can see it better on the papers I just showed you from that book with Randall McCoy that he served in the 45th. So when these people say they served in 2 different units, I have the papers, but I can't find them, or I'll find them later. Don't let them buy with that. You don't have to argue. You don't have to be mean. I know it comes across like I'm being mean. I'm not being mean. I'm just, when I get on something, I talk loud, I talk fast, and that's just my nature. You'll get used to that if you stick around long enough. The bottom line is, don't pay no attention to me. Pay attention to what I say and whether we can prove what we say or not. This gentleman says he's got pictures of him, Devil Anse Hatfield's graveyard, when he was a young boy all the way up, growing up. Never been one picture produced. This gentleman says he's got all kinds of documents of different things, but he doesn't. Now he says he's got documents where they served in 2 different units. Well, they didn't. They served, he went to prisoner of war camp. That's what caused the hard feelings. Because he was from West Virginia or Kentucky, that was the closest unit on that border. Kentucky and West Virginia, or Virginia at that time, were border states. Not going to harp on it. Don't believe everything you see or you read. These Facebook pages, they are, I don't want to come across the wrong way with them. These people that has these Facebook pages, they've got the same passionate passions for the feud as Sheila and I have no reason to say that my passion is more than theirs. I probably think it is, because that's what I've done all my life. That's what we do. But my passion is for the truth. Our passion. There you go. Mine and Sheila's passion is for the truth. And once again, we'll say, if we're wrong and you can prove us wrong on something, please do. We'll correct it, and we have. Yeah. We've been wrong a couple of times, and people's corrected us, and we've changed it right then. And they say, oh, you don't have to do that, Fred. You don't have to mention our name. You don't have to. But we do if they don't mind it. Yeah. Some people don't want. But we don't care to be corrected as long as we got the truth. Because the next person that comes behind us, they're going to have the truth now. Sheila will do the closing on this, guys. Hey, when you get on these Facebook pages, just ask questions. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with you asking questions or saying produce this or produce that. I'm beating a dead horse. But I can't emphasize that enough, because when I do see these pages where people send us stuff, I'm thinking, why did this person just accept what they said? And maybe not everybody's like Fred McCoy. Maybe not everybody's confrontational that says, okay, show us the proof. Well, you should be. If the person's giving you a history lesson or telling you about something as important as that, then they should be able to produce the proof. They shouldn't get mad at you for questioning them. But what I see or have seen in years past on Facebook pages, they simply delete you. Mm-hmm. If they believe a different way, and if they're Devil Anse Hatfield fans, Devil Anse Hatfield Kool-Aid drinkers, they don't want to hear nothing on the other side. Truth especially, they don't want to hear. It's okay if you want to lie and say you saw him on the Tug River walking on water one day. They'll leave that post up. But if you say that he was a deserter, they'll either try to defend it and say, well, he returned home. He was going to have to kill his uncle. His wife was being mistreated, or
protecting.
Well, like nobody else's wives or people went through anything. Sheila's probably going to edit half of this out because
I'm
rambling. Bye.
Hi guys, hope you're having a great morning. Please like, subscribe, and share, and we'll catch you on the next one. Bye.